And really, when it comes to blog content, it is usually a really big mess. If they've worked with other SEO companies in the past, you can see like tons of 300 to 500 word content that's still live from 7 or 8 years ago, and it's keyword cannibalization to like the infinite, right? They have 50 different blog posts that are tagged with their number one keyword. Like we were looking at one the other day, and it was almost like made me laugh. There was like 200 blog posts, and 100 of them had almost like duplicated title tags with the exact match keyword, like keyword 1, keyword 2, keyword 3 dash blog post title. I'm like, oh my God, like no one's ever like fixed this. It's not gonna like save your SEO or get you number one, but the confusing signals, right? Yeah. Having 2 blog posts that are all saying the same thing. Having your informational content at 2,000 words that's outranking but has no call to action on the website, right? Like, do you even know what's ranking? I'm ranking great. Well, actually, your blog post is ranking, it looks like shit, and you don't even have a single CTA element on it. So like, yeah, you're ranking, but the wrong page is ranking, right? Okay. So either add CTA, make that look great, run some conversion tests on it, or de-optimize that page, bring all that content over to your category page or your transactional page, and then, yeah, a little bit of short-term pain for long-term gain for sure, but like have the right page ranking.
Bad link building, so like maybe they're doing directory spam, maybe they're spamming blog comments, maybe they're just doing a bunch of article or a forum profile links. Those are the ones where it's really bad. Luckily, we don't see that too much anymore, although about 5 to 7 years ago, there was a lot more common to see that. But I think the penguin penalty and all the other penalties Google did kind of calm that down. I'd say some of the other issues we see is low quality content, where it's just like, content that's good enough, but might not be grammatically correct, might even have spelling issues, where they're just trying to get something up, but not putting much effort into the content. And then another issue I see is just, especially with e-commerce sites, is duplicate content issues. If you have a category page and you sort alphabetically or sort by price, every time you do that sorting, it oftentimes will generate a new URL. And if each of those URLs is getting indexed, and you have 10 different ways to sort it, well, you now have 10 duplicate pages. So making sure there's no technical issues on the duplication or category page level. If you do something long enough, you're always going to make mistakes. There's times we've sent out press releases with the wrong link and it got distributed to hundreds of outlets. There's times, trying to remove duplicate URLs from Google Search Console removal tool, and we accidentally removed the whole website. Like this, stuff like that happens, and it's fun to laugh about now. At the time it's not, but it's just one of those things. Accepting that you're gonna make mistakes and just put in the processes and procedures to make sure it doesn't happen again. Yeah. I'm proud to say we haven't made any mistakes like that in 5 years or so, but early on, if someone's starting, of course, your things are going to happen and you're going to learn from it, and that's what makes you an expert.
I think probably the worst thing that can happen is sometimes, as I've said to you before, which is concrete as an example because it's a good one. If I want a concrete driveway and you're a concreter, I come to you because you're good at what you do. Sometimes some people try to modify their website themselves and they can crash it. It's actually happened to a new customer I've just taken over, where they've tried to update it. Before I touched their website, they've actually tried to update it themselves, and they've updated WordPress plugins and it's crashed the whole website. Now their sales tool in the back, which is their website, their heartbeat of their business was down. So they've come to us to fix that. So sometimes I tell people, yes, you can get in the back end, yes, you can do stuff, but be careful, especially when it comes to WordPress. Shopify is pretty good because people are careful. Adding and removing products is pretty simple, but WordPress can be quite complicated, and people don't realize that plugins are really powerful. They either build your website or they can make your website crash. And that happens all the time, where someone goes into the back end and they think, oh, I'll save myself some money, I'll just go update the plugins, and crashed, it's gone.
So you take a client, the site was already with the bad backlinks, but you took the client, they paid you for the first month, and After 2 days, the Google update came. You haven't even still done anything.
Hmm.
Google update came. So the client came on board on first page because they want to go to the top because the current provider couldn't do, but they were doing aggressive, lot of strategies that are also kind of red flagging. Update happened in 3 days. Site is on 7th page. Client because paid to us and came. We never done anything yet. Right? But the site went to the, so those are massive horror things. So
because this is based on technology, everything changes so fast. So I don't know if we're gonna need to reinvent ourselves again. Artificial intelligence is coming, so a lot of things are gonna change in terms of how we do marketing right now. We're gonna start using more big data to make the algorithms help us to make better decisions on which kind of content we should make with the nurturing campaigns and all that. So that's a scary part, because I had to reinvent myself 12 years ago, and I see that we're gonna reinvent ourselves again.
Yep.
So it's a mixture of every time we need to learn more and have new new skills in the agency that we didn't have before. So that's a scary part. So when it's gonna end, I don't know when it's gonna end. But the other good part that I see, that's the part that I don't like, because it's happening so fast.
Yep.
But the other part is that we are humans, and we as humans, we connect. As I told you, the principle is really easy. Your product is difficult and it's very costly. I'm not gonna buy it really easy. It's not like buying a gum or a chewing gum that you can buy and you don't care if you can buy 5 brands in a row and try them all. We can do that as an example with a car.
That's true.
So we need content, and we need that content to make our decision. And that principle is the only thing that tells me, okay, you've been doing that principle since you started with traditional advertising. It was the same thing. You talk about a product, you show the benefits, and you show that product is good for this kind of people, and you show them the solution and the result of the solution. So it's the same. As long as we as humans don't change that part, we have like a really solid strategy to keep on following. The other thing that the other thing that is important is that if you do the same thing every day, you become a master in performing that thing. So that's the thing that I try to concentrate, to understand how people make the decision and what information is important. Because the other part, that how are we gonna give you that information, it's gonna change a lot with the algorithms and all the things that are coming. So so basically those are the two things. The good thing is we are humans, we're not gonna change in that part, and the scary thing is that we're gonna need to learn a lot of new skills on how to do it.
He didn't really get to the point to understand Iman that well. And as I told you, Iman takes time. So he did one result right now, and I want increase my sales right, and I want this number of sales. And for example, there were unrealistic goals. Like for example, if he had at the point he had 20 customers, he wanted 200. Like that's unreal. We thought the growth is it's just palatable, and you need to be a little bit more realistic on your goals, and so at the end we had a bad relationship because we were always fighting. We didn't end up all the retainer because it was uncomfortable for us to work with him or with them actually, but we have a point person with them. That's why I said him. But it was really uncomfortable working with him, and he was also uncomfortable with us too, because he didn't understand what we were doing, because he wasn't on the profile we were used to work with, and even though he had the interest to work with us because he had references from other companies that we had with bright results and stuff, but he wasn't that profile we work with. So the lesson we learned there is that even though there is a person or a company that wants to work with us really bad, but it's not on our profile or doesn't match our profile, our customer profile, it's better to say no at the beginning than have that relationship that is just really tiring, and at the end you end up bad with that person or with that company, and instead of being a promoter of your services and being happy with the agency, they are detractors.